we're back on the Atlanta Braves now. Obviously, they're going to lose this series to the Minnesota Twins. And Monday is going to be the most damning. Because, once again, the first inning woes. And I'm watching the game. It's like the Braves give up 4 runs before they capture the first out of the game. That is so dumbfounding. Like, because it goes to show, like, if you don't have a bad inning, you win this game. This is another situation where the Braves win the game if they don't have a bad inning, but they wind up having a bad inning and it wind up biting them in the ass later on down the line. Because the Braves dominate the Twins the rest of the game, but you just cannot have that one bad inning. And they lost last night 4-1. Was it 4-1 or 4-2? Oh, yeah, it was 4-1 because I know for the longest it was 2-1. Then I think the Twins got a home run at the bottom of the 8th, and that was that. So yeah, enough about the Twins. I won't be able to watch another game for the next 4 days because, 3 days technically because, I don't know. Long story short, the Braves got a day game this afternoon, and then tomorrow they play the White Sox. As y'all know, they got that makeup game from June due to the game getting rained out. And both of these games, the Braves have to win to avoid getting swept. Like I said, the Braves have yet to be swept by an American League team. And granted, I state that the American League need to step their game up, but not to the expense of the Braves. But, yeah. So you got those 2 games going on. But this is where things really get interesting. Starting this weekend, you got your 2 biggest competitors of the year coming up on the schedule. You got to go to Milwaukee for a 2-game set, because the 3rd game you will be at Williamsport for the Little League Classic. And then you do get Monday off on the 24th. And then I want to say, the Dodgers will be coming to Atlanta. I feel like I was about to say don't the Braves go out to LA, but I do realize that the Braves don't have to go back on the West Coast the rest of the year. But they got 3-game set with the Dodgers at home. This is where things are going to get really interesting. We can harp on the fact that the Atlanta Braves won 2 or 3 against the Brewers and the Dodgers when they played those their first series. But if the Atlanta Braves want to consider themselves part of the National League elite along with the Brewers and Dodgers, they need to come out this series 4-2. They have to. Minimum 4-2. Take 2 or 3 for the Brewers, take 2 or 3 for the Dodgers, and show that you belong. And besides, you got to start winning games anyway, because the Braves were doing so good in July, and then all of a sudden August rolls around. This past weekend rolls around, and now the Braves lost 4 of the last 5. The NL League has shrunk from 9.5 to 5.5. The Phillies have somehow started beating. I'm not gonna act like the Phillies are like the worst team in the National League, but they have been on the winning streak lately. They swept the Twins, and then they took the first 2 games against Miami Marlins. So they've been handling their business. Like I said, I still my feelings on the Phillies still stand. I'm not gonna shy away from that. But at the same time, you cannot you got to handle your business, Braves. You cannot let the Phillies creep up from the come up and be on your ass. But the good news is the Braves still have 7 more games with the Phillies, 2 more series, 1 in Atlanta, 1 in Philly. And that's and those series are coming up in a couple of weeks. I think like 2 weeks from now. Yeah, 2 weeks from now. So the first series 2 weeks from now up in Philly. And then the next series, which is the final series of the year, it'll be 3 weeks from now in Atlanta. So I feel like if the Braves and the Phillies are on a collision course at the end of August, then those 2 series will all but likely determine who wins the NL East. We wouldn't be talking about this situation last week, but like I said, with the scenario that's been happening, we got to talk about it. So, but long story short, the Braves beat the They need to win these 2 games. They need to go 6-2 minimum in these next 8 games. But if they can go 8-0, I'll enjoy that too. Because the Braves are capable of going on a winning streak. And I feel like the Braves will win today because the Braves somehow, some way, found a way to, they found a way to always win that salvage game to avoid getting swept. So if history repeats itself, then the Braves should win these next 2 games. But yeah, very disappointing. Very disappointing. This series against the Twins. I didn't really get around watching any of the Diamondbacks games. Maybe Friday's game a little bit, but like I said, I didn't watch the whole thing, and I did not watch Saturday or Sunday's game at all. But nonetheless, man, the Braves are sitting at 74-52 overall, 5.5 game lead over the Phillies. They are in 3rd place as far as division leader. So yeah, but I expected better. Like I said, the Minnesota Twins are definitely not a good team. You got to. This is a series you should be handling business on. But anyways, enough about that because I feel like I'm gonna start rambling on. But I just want to touch bases on that. I guess credit to the Twins winning the series. But like I said, I expected better. But yeah. I'll try to keep up the best way I can today and tomorrow. But until then, ATL Braves all day. Let's get this win.